So, you may have seen the story where Donald Trump wanted to make Canada the 51st state. Now, he says he was kidding, but it did bring up the question because now Canada is proposing that the USA become provinces 11 through 60. Now, here's the story. The Canadian government has extended an official proposal to the United States. Join Canada as provinces 11 through 60. The offer, outlined in a maple-scented parchment document and delivered by Justin Trudeau himself during a speech in front of the Tim Hortons Parliament, which is a rebranding proposal still awaiting approval, includes several enticing benefits for the USA. Frankly, we've noticed that the United States could use a bit more stability, Trudeau announced, sipping a double-double. We'd be happy to lend you our health care, our penchant for saying sorry, and, most importantly, our wildly underrated ketchup chips. Well, what's the plan? The United States, under this proposal, would be subdivided into individual provinces, with New York, California, and Texas leading the charge as new powerhouses of Canadian federalism. Florida, however, would be classified as its own special zone due to its exceptional energy and unpredictability, Trudeau explained, carefully avoiding the wild card name. Instead of a president, the U.S. provinces would now elect a super premier who would be invited to occasional hockey nights at Rideau Hall. Congress, meanwhile, would transition into the Great Big Lodge of Provincial Delegates, where debates will be conducted entirely over poutine and served with mandatory beaver tails. Key benefits: universal health care. Canadians promise to fix American health care by applying their national philosophy of, if it ain't broke, we'll apologize anyway and send you to a specialist. Gun control, a big one. U.S. gun culture will be rebranded as Angry Snowball Fights, with licensing available only to people who can knit their own toques. NFL revisions. Football will continue, but with a 3-down system and a required apology for every sack. Additionally, the halftime shows will now feature curling exhibitions. Metric system. The switch to kilometers and liters will include a nationwide Metric Your Life education campaign. Trump Tower, for instance, would be proudly relabeled as 88.4 meters tall. Cultural exchange. To ease the transition, Canadians promise to adopt certain American habits. Tim Hortons locations will begin offering unsweetened iced tea and serve burgers so big they require a hydraulic lift to eat. The national anthem will be rewritten to include a rap verse performed by Drake and guest star Dolly Parton. In exchange, the U.S. will have to adopt a few Canadian traditions, including making every conversation about the weather and voluntarily pronouncing about as a boot. What's the reaction? Well, Americans have been characteristically divided on the proposal. While some cheer at the idea of universal health care and hockey, others are concerned that having to say "eh" at the end of every sentence might violate their First Amendment rights. Florida, predictably, has declared itself an independent nation. Texas initially promised to secede, but softened their position when it learned that Alberta also loves oil and rodeos. California has already begun rebranding as Caliberia, Province of Sunshine. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, upon hearing the news, issued a statement immediately declaring, "Nobody makes America a province. Canada wouldn't exist without me. Plus, their syrup, overrated. Everyone knows Vermont is the real deal." Well, the Canadian government, true to form, responded with a gentle "bless your heart" and a care package of maple syrup and universal politeness lessons. It's unclear how this proposal will progress, but one thing's for sure: America as provinces 11 through 60 would make for a fascinating episode of The Crown. So what do you think? Should the United States become part of Canada rather than Canada becoming part of the United States? Let us know in the comments.